Hello dear students, this is Industrial Relations and Labor Laws course tutorial. This is tutorial 1.8. The topic of this tutorial, Human Resource Management and Industrial Relations. The learning objectives are to understand the links between human resource management and industrial relations and to know the differences between human resource management and industrial relations. Industrial relations, it is a concept developed as a consequence to the factory system and industrial revolution. Since the two class of people, workers and managers created and the difference of labor and capital become apparent. Industrial relations is often understood as the relations between the employer and the employees. So, it is an employment relationship or relationship created in the workplace. Such relationship, in one extreme, it may be a conflicting relationship. Conflicting means their interests are not served. The parties, that is the employees and employees representatives, say trade union, then there are employers, so their interests may also not be served, and in that time the relationship may be a conflicting relationship. While in the other extreme, the relationship may be very cooperative one, and this relationship is very dynamic. If sometimes it is a cooperation relationship, in other times there may be conflict or there may be some adjustment in the relationship. John T. Dunlop, who contributed Industrial Relations System Model, defined the scope and boundaries of industrial relations through the model. This model has been widely accepted as the basis of industrial relations study and practice. The model describes industrial relations system as a web of rules formed by the interaction of the government, business and labor, influenced by the existing and emerging economic, socio-political and technological factors. The system is comprised of certain actors, certain context and ideology. The rules created are to govern the actors at the workplace and the community. In other countries, the term industrial relations evolved from labor relations to person relations, then person relations to human relations. In case of India, a lack of clarity has remained about the term. Now, if you study human resource management, you will come to know the evolution of human resource management. The evolution of human resource management can be also traced to industrial evolution and the development of the factory system. So this is similar to industrial relation. The industrial relation also, it was the term or the concept developed as a consequence to industrial revolution and factory system. Since the factory system uprooted the family-based production system, people from various backgrounds come to work together in those factories. And this require management of those factories, or you can say management of the people working in the factories. However, the approach to management evolved over the period. Now, if you study evolution of human resource management, you will find that this human resource management, this is a relatively recent origin. In the early period, it was beginning with labor administration. So there was a period when labor was considered, labor means the employees or the workers, they were considered only as a factor of production. They were seen as a cost. So the managers or the employers, they were trying to reduce the cost as much as possible, or they try to get maximum out of the labor or workers working in their organization. And rather you can say in that time the laborers were exploited, and the laborers, they were treated as dogs or they were treated as slave. the employers or the managers, they were acting as masters of those labor. So their conditions was not good, and they were not considered as human resource like today. Then after labor administration, there comes a period where the concept personal management gained importance. And in this is a period where the laborers or the workers, they were recognized as human being, and it was considered that they have their own feelings, they have their own thinkings, they have their emotions, so they need to be taken care by the employers. Their emotions, then what can motivate them, how they can be led, so in all those things studies were done. And these studies like are the movements you might have heard about, human relation movement and behavioral science movement. So these studies enrich the field of human resource management. Then this personal management, after the personal management, the concept or the field human resource management developed. And in this period, human, they are not only considered as human being, then besides considering them human being, they are also considered as resource. And resource, that means they have enormous potential. And if the working conditions or if the opportunities are provided to them, they are able to give their maximum. And this human resource, they need not be directed because they love their job and they are self-directed and self-controlled. So this is the evolution of human resource management. Now let's see the salient features of industrial relations. Industrial relations are governed by the system of rules and regulations concerning work, workplace, and working community. The main purpose of industrial relation is to maintain harmonious relations between employees and employer by solving their problems through grievance procedure and collective bargaining. Trade union is another important institution in the industrial relations. Trade unions influence and shape the industrial relations through collective bargaining. These relations emphasis on accommodating other parties' interests, values, and needs. Parties develop skill of adjusting to and cooperating with each other. So here adjustment is about the relations of employees and employer. And here you see the features of human resource management. Human resource management, this is an approach to management. This approach assumes that job itself is the basic source of satisfaction and motivation to employees. Employees are self-directed and self-controlled. The human resource approach emphasizes on the individual involvement in the decisions made in the organization and considered the employees as the invaluable resources for the organization. This approach suggests that manager's job is to utilize the untapped human potential and provide a healthy, safe, convenient workplace. So here very easily you can derive that human resource management, this is a broader field or broader area in comparison to industrial relation. So the industrial relation basically concerned with governance of the laws and regulations for governing the relationships of employees and employer. The focus of human resource management in enterprise level is on developing HR strategies, aligning them with corporate level strategy. Now, at enterprise level, there are various functions of human resource management besides industrial relations, like recruitment, training and development, and compensation. So, various types of functions are there in human resource management besides industrial relations function. Now, after discussing the evolution that shape the present human resource management and industrial relations, I'm going to discuss the differences of human resource management and industrial relations. Human resource management, there are mainly two important parties. One is employer and the other is employee. So employer or the organization took care of employees' interest, and employees, they're going to give their labor, they're going to give their talents, or they're going to perform for the organization or perform for the employer and going to serve their interests. An employer's interest is to increase their productivity, and employees' objectives are to serve their individual interest and also contribute towards the organizational goal. In case of industrial relation, there are four important parties: employee, then there are employees representatives, that is trade union, then employer or there may be employers association, and government. In framing laws, government intervention is there. HRM is concerned with formulation of objectives, policies, procedure and programs of human resource and implement them. In case of industrial relations, it is the implementation of human resource management policies which result the industrial relation, or you can better say that the condition or the status of industrial relation, whether it is conflicting relation or cooperating relation, that is the consequence or that is the outcome of the implementation of human resource management policy. Now say, for example, the employer, in framing HR recruitment related policy, they frame the policy that for filling all the senior posts, they will take the conditions of merit. Now, in that policy, the employees of the organization, they may not like it, because those who are becoming senior and gathering more experience in the organization, they may feel that if some more talented employees are available outside the organization, in the time the firm or the employer may recruit those people to the organization. So the employees who are presently working in the organization, they may not like the policy of the employer, and thereby they may going to resist it in various ways, and that may result into some conflicts between the employer and employee. So that is an example related to implementation of HRM policy. HRM provides for reformulating the objectives, policies, etc. based on industrial conflicts, which are the outcome of unsound industrial relations. The sound industrial relation contributes to the organizational goals. The unsound industrial relation result in industrial conflicts, demanding for change and reformulation of human resource management objectives and goals. So you can say that industrial relation, that is the direct outcome of human resource management, or how the organization, how the employer is dealing with the employees of the organization. If the employees are not satisfied, or if the employees found that their interests are not served, that time the industrial relation may go in a negative direction, and this may demand, or this may require the organization, or you can say the employer, to reformulate the objectives and policies. In case of human resource management approach, individual employee contact with immediate superior. But in case of industrial relation, employee contact the top management as a group. Here you see in the side of human resource management, Grievance and disciplinary procedures are resorted to solve the employee-employer conflicts. In case of industrial relation, collective bargaining and forms of industrial conflicts are resorted to solve the problem. Human resource management. This is the overall management of all resources including workers, staff, executive, top management, and even suppliers and customers. Industrial relation in practice means the relation between actual workforce and management of the organization. Let's discuss industrial relations and human resource management at present. The practice of industrial relation now includes some of the positive practices, though in a few enterprises. Industrial relations in such enterprises are therefore being increasingly practiced in a proactive manner, dealing with situation of industrial conflicts as well as areas related to human resource development like recruitment and manpower planning, training and development, communication, performance appraisal, delegation and employee involvement. So those firms are following these HRM practices as part of the proactive approach to industrial relation. There, the concept of industrial relations merging with human resource management and the traditional role of the actors to industrial relation evolve as partners in the formulation of HR policies, programs, objectives, and procedures. In past, industrial relations in enterprises were mostly perceived as a negative and reactive manner. Reactive or negative, it means if something goes in a negative direction or say some problem arise between the relations of employee and employer, that time the management will take some action. So management take action in a reactive manner. When the approach is reactive, their industrial relations seem to be an area or function of human resource management which needs specific attention besides the other functions of human resource management. Now, where it is practiced in a proactive manner, there remain a thin line between industrial relation and human resource management. So you can say that industrial relation is merging with human resource management in the present time. So these are the sources from where I have collected the information that I presented in the slides. So this is all about human resource management and industrial relations. So I am concluding this session here. Thank you.